Hello everyone and welcome back to Ace Attorney Investigations Miles Edgeworth. I'm trying really hard not to call it Ace Attorney Miles Edgeworth Investigations, but I will probably slip up at some point. Okay, so we were going to use logic, and we were trying to figure out, the killer's goal. Why did this happen in my office? What was the killer after? Was the killer after something, or was the victim after something? Or did the killer want something that was in the safe, and the investigator was like, no, you can't do that? Because it did seem like the killer was like, win at any cost sort of thing, so I think he would break into our safe for sure. The files are a mess. Killer's goal, I think, wipes fingerprints? Logic? Hey, we made a logic. I believe I may have figured out what the murderer was after. Well, what is it, sir? The fact that the safe was wiped clean of fingerprints suggests that the criminal had at least attempted to open my safe, making the culprit's motive for breaking and entering theft, I believe. The culprit tried to open my safe was the killer's motive theft. But we hadn't been here for a while. I wonder if knowing that the motive behind the break-in was theft changes what the other pieces of information can tell me about the crime. Connect my thoughts. Okay. So I only have two thoughts to work with. Alright, so we know this is going to be one. Was the killer's motive theft? I guess the handgun doesn't really have anything to do with it. Trying to do it with gusto and I missed. There's a possibility that the files splayed on the floor are not the result of a struggle between the victim and his killer. Oh, you mean like it could be from when the killer tried to find something, sir? Precisely. We need to figure out if any of the files have been stolen. Yes, sir. I'm going to shelve files like you've never seen before, even at the library. Sure. Let's give that a try. Why do all the good ones always die young? Surely you must ponder that every once in a while, Mr. Edgeworth. Dude, you are acting way too suspicious. Even if I hadn't seen your face, I would be suspecting you right now. No matter how much we lament, the dead will not come back to life. All we can do is search for the truth. And, so what are we supposed to do? How do we go about finding the truth? You're a prosecutor, you dingus. First, we calmly restore the files to their rightful place. You got it. Here, let me help. No! So this file goes here, and that book goes there. You sure know a lot about where things go, despite it being Mr. Edgeworth's office. Because I'm the one who keeps it tidy, pal. Okay, done. Ooh. It appears the murder was definitely committed here. The bloodstains on the bookshelf are still fresh. I suspect that the victim was killed in a standing position, hence the prints on the shelf. And then the guy fell onto the floor, right? The blood on the floor is kind of grossing me out. Detective, I don't have the time to deal with your weak stomach right now. But you know I'm no good with blood, sir. I'm certain there's something wrong with this picture. Can I examine? Oh, I can deduce, too. The victim's handprints. He must have tried to support himself with his hand here after being shot. There are prints on the floor, too. Those must have been made when, unable to stay standing, he dropped to the floor. It appears the victim was in a sitting position after being shot. Oh, so that's why the seat of the victim's pants has blood on it. That'd be the logical conclusion. So this is where the bullet lodged itself after it went through the victim, huh? The bullet to be lodged so squarely in a file spine indicates that the files were ransacked after the shooting occurred. Then I guess the victim was moved because he was in the killer's way. Ooh, that's good information to have. The killer moved the body because he was leaning against the bookshelf. The blood on the guy's pants proves that pretty well. In a sense, I suppose. See, I'm not completely useless, Mr. Edgeworth. Did I get this? Okay, yep, we got that already. Do I need to deduce something now? Or do I need to logic? I feel like this might get a little difficult for me. Trying to figure out what I need to do when. Well, I haven't been able to deduce yet, so I'm gonna try deducing. Is this spot somehow connected to any of the evidence I hold? Oh. I didn't mean to tap on that, but... Prosecutor's badge! We have the Prosecutor's badge! Oh my god, I want to present that to everybody. However, I prefer to keep it in my pocket. One thing I'm trying to figure out, and I think this might be where the contradiction comes in, that is on the lower shelf. And it very much seems like it shouldn't be. Is that what it's after? This is clearly where the contradiction lies. I don't really see what's so wrong with that spot. Ha! You don't understand. You see, therein lies the contradiction. Mr. Edgeworth, sir, it'd be nice if you just admit when you're wrong. That wasn't a mistake. It was me keeping you on your toes, detective. Oh, I was in the wrong spot. Whoops. I didn't realize it was highlighting that spot. Whoops. All right. I'm going to give the game this now that I know. I love that it shows me what is highlighted. So I think this is going to be the same thing, though. There's clearly a contradiction here with this bullet hole. Now, what do you mean, sir? You don't see. Quite simply, the bullet hole itself is too low, yeah. If the victim was shot in the stomach, the hole should be much higher up. But what if the guy was shot while he was sitting there lying down, sir? It'd be illogical. The victim leaned against the shelf here after being shot, which suggests that he was standing when he got shot. That means... wait, what does that mean, sir? It means you need to use your brain every once in a while instead of mine, detective. In any case, it means someone made a faulty assumption, and it's from this mistake that our current contradiction was born. I'd assume it's the order of the files. I believe the order of the files is a bit off. You mean I put them back in the wrong order just now? Hey, actually, I think the labels on the files are wrong, sir. Oh. Oh. Yeah, you see here how the files that were shot begin with the number 0? What are those doing all the way down there after 1, 2, and 3? That's really weird. Actually, the way they are organized now is the correct order. They're exactly as I see them in my mind's eye. But the numbers are all out of order. That's why binders are special, so they are arranged a little differently. But from this, we know that the files were not in this order when the crime occurred. Oh! So Gumshoe putting them back in the wrong order actually helped. Aha, so that's it. I believe the killer made the same incorrect assumption as you just did, detective. Let's rearrange the files in numerical order and see what we find out. Oh my god. Do you think it'd be okay to prop the body back up to how it was before it was moved? They finished processing the crime scene, so I don't see why it wouldn't be. If you please, Detective Gumshoe. And suddenly it all fits. As I suspected, the bullet hole is now where it should logically be. The killer went through my files first before shooting Mr. Faith. And then put the files back in numerical order, I guess. Exactly, and then proceeded to shoot the victim. But why would someone kill a man and then look through your files one more time? Puzzling indeed. The files were thrown into disarray twice, once before and once after the crime, but why? Logic! That's why. Now the crime scene is as it was at the time of the murder. Time to give it another look. Alright, let's take a look at that. As I suspected, the bullet hole is now where it should logically be, and we figured out that the killer went through your bookshelf twice. Indeed, there are many things the killer did that don't make sense. But to figure out the whys, we need more information. Okay, about bloody handprints. These handprints belong to the victim, right? They make sense with the body position. Yes, he must have left them when he was trying to support himself after he was shot. However, the final position of the body shows that it was moved. I need to go over this crime scene with a fine-tooth comb one more time. Body. Must be some reason as to why the victim's body was moved. There's no time to ponder that now. Let us continue with our investigation, Detective. Roger that, sir. I'm raring to go. Nope, that's the same thing. Oh! Oh! This. It says oh no, it says Gumshoe upside oh no. What is that? Why does it say Gumshoe on there in blood? I'd say some incredibly incriminating evidence. Yes, indicative of criminal activity indeed. No, wait, there's gotta be some mistake. Mr. Edgeworth, sir, help me, say something, sir. It appears that one of my files was stolen. Is that all, sir? What about me and my situation? Is this what the killer was really after? So he wrote Gumshoe on there, but then took the file? Investigation complete! Oh, we got our health back. Looks like Jim was able to leave us the name of his killer in the end. And this most important message managed to reach us. I'm telling you, it wasn't me. You can't be terribly pleased to hear about your beloved partner as the guilted party. If you're going to accuse Detective Gumshoe of being the culprit, I sincerely hope you have some proof to back it up. Jim's words, they're more than enough, wouldn't you say? If that's how you want to play it, then at least allow me to understand your reasoning. You got it. Ooh. I don't like this one bit. There's something strange about this man's attitude. There must be some sort of flaw to his logic waiting for me to dig out. Oh boy. Mr. Edgeworth, what are you gonna do? What I always do in court, I'm going to cross-examine him. One way or another, I'll expose the flaw in his logic with this technique. Ooh, how do you do that? Can you explain it to me, sir? Alright, first I listen to the witness's testimony. If I find a flaw in the testimony, something that contradicts the evidence, I open the organizer and present the piece of contradictory. Alright. To present something, I simply touch the present button, and that's old news. But it's not like there's got to be a flaw in their testimony every time, right? Correct, and at those times I need to press the witness by touching the press button. Sometimes by pressing I can draw out new information and new or modified testimony. I think I get it, sir. I'll be sure to try this technique out during investigations, too. Very well, I'll even show you it's done. Now watch carefully. Detective Gumshoe, you stole Jim's gun from him and shot him dead. I can't press. Further, you messed up the files to make it look like you had committed theft instead. Wait, what? That's when you moved Jim's body that was sitting in front of the bookshelf. But thanks to that, you didn't notice the bloody letters his body was hiding. It'll be by his final words that you'll be brought to justice. Alright, can I go through and You intend to argue that the victim's dying message points to his killer. Yeah, I can hear Jim's voice and he's calling out for his killer's arrest. Are you sure you're not mishearing his words, Mr. Portsman? There's no way Detective Gumshoe is the culprit here. I will find the flaw in this man's logic, I think I saw one, and expose it with credible evidence. No, it wasn't that one. No. I think it's the next one. You didn't notice the bloody letters. That was literally the file that was stolen. I love this. Perhaps you're not aware, Mr. Portsman, but there's a serious flaw in your logic. Yeah, bringing a bit of the courtroom into this, I see. No problem. I'm game. I can't help but find it odd. Excuse me? Odd that a fellow prosecutor would be brought down by the power of his own office. What are you talking about? Oh, you're joking. I get it. If you have the time to laugh, then you have the time to take another closer look at this. Do you still not see? If not, may I direct your attention to the missing file? What? That's impossible! What's impossible, Mr. Portsman? Nothing. Yeah, we got... Alright. He knows he's in trouble. The files on that shelf are all about a certain case. When the killer went to take the file after murdering your partner, I highly doubt they could have missed the bloody letters written on the spines. It's possible they could have taken the file before committing the murder, but then it wouldn't read Gumshoe. I think it's pretty obvious that the file was stolen after it was written on. The missing letters in the detective's name where the file should be is proof. Yeah, I mean, the S is gone and there's only half an H. If Detective Gumshoe really was the culprit of this case, I highly doubt that even he could overlook his own name written in blood on the files. Especially as a detective who can't stand the sight of blood. Ugh. Which means, what exactly? What does that make this dying message? It makes it the work of a criminal intent on tampering with the crime scene. That's so low, I can't believe that criminal tried to pin this whole thing on me, sir. I'm gonna get him, sir. You'll see, I'm gonna have him under arrest in no time. Well, Mr. Portsman? Yeah, brilliant, absolutely splendid. Logic deserving of Olympic gold. I appreciate the praise, but it doesn't change the fact that your reasoning is flawed. You win some, you lose some. That's how life goes. Glad everyone's so cheery, even though I feel more dead than alive. But you know, it really is a shame. I really didn't want to have to bring this up, however. What is it this time? Are you still after me, pal? Humor me for a second. Who has the key to this office? That would be me. But Mr. Edgeworth just proved that I'm innocent, pal. What? What is he doing? Why does he have a lab coat? That's absolutely right. I acknowledge your innocence. Why do I sense you still have something to say? What is he doing? You want a lab coat? Well, I was thinking, did you know there's one other person with a key to this office? It's us. Another person? Hey, you there. Yes, sir. What is it, sir? Would you kindly fetch and escort that lovely young lady here for me? Lady? The girl's a member of this building's security. Think of her as a material witness. Wait. Oh, someone's gonna lie? Security. Did you say security? No, stop it, pal. Don't. Wait. Alright, someone who doesn't want to see. Oh, is it Old Bag? Please be Old Bag. That would be hilarious. What's wrong with him all of a sudden? Or, shoot. Von Karma? No, Von Karma wouldn't be security. And Edgeworth would be on that too. Yeah. Oh! I believe she needs no introduction. It's Maggie. I have called upon Miss Maggie Bird, a member of security. Detective Gumshoe, sir. She's wearing a blue badger shirt, and she's about to lie. Why is she gonna lie? Maggie. Miss Bird is a security guard on watch tonight. I see, and your point is? My point is that she could very well have used it. Oh no! I thought that he was like blackmailing her. Oh no, she can't be on trial again. That's horrible. And by it, I mean the master key, which can open all the office doors in this building. What? If you're not the guilty party, Detective Gumshoe, then the only other person with access to this room is Miss Bird. How dare you? I would never sneak into someone's room. That's right, I refuse to believe that Maggie's the culprit, pal. It was me, that's right, I did it. You may take that as a confession, Detective. Well, it wasn't really me, but it definitely wasn't Maggie, pal. So yeah, it was me. If it was, you'd have no problems with that, right? Please refrain from flying off the handle, Detective. There's no need for such theatrics. Listen to your boss, Detective. He understands what I'm saying here. That girl is the only one who could have committed the crime, and for one simple reason. Reason for suspicion. Alright, we're gonna get him. We're gonna get him. This is... No! No! It's pretty obvious that Miss Bird snuck into your room using the master key. I mean, if Detective Gumshoe isn't the one who opened the door, then that leaves only Miss Bird as our prime suspect. On top of which, she knows our good detective, doesn't she? Making all that more probable that she was the one who faked the dying message. She wouldn't do that. So you're saying she used the master key. Incredibly incriminating evidence, wouldn't you say? That's what you claimed about the evidence earlier as well. That was then, this is now. The flow of a good match always changes during a rally. It's all about your reflexes and reaction time, especially for an athlete like me, of course, of course. I wonder if there's anyone else other than Miss Bird who could have used the master key. It seems that the only way to get Mr. Portsman to give me more details is to press him. Alright, and I guess we will press. Are you sure Miss Bird is the only member of the security staff that could have used the master key? There's only one person on staff at this time of night, and tonight, she's it. Isn't that right, Miss Bird? That's, true, but I wasn't able to use the master key at the time of the crime, sir. Wasn't able to? What's that supposed to mean? Yes, moving on. I hate to get sidetracked by something unrelated. What do you mean unrelated? I want to hear what you had to say, pal. But you can't really trust her not to tell lies, plus I hate wasting time. Should I hear Miss Bird out? Yes! Not so fast. I too am interested in hearing what Miss Bird has to say. Didn't I just say it'd be a waste of time? We don't need to hear her lies. I'll be the judge of that, Miss Bird, if you please. I discovered that the master key was missing at around 1 a.m., sir. What do you mean by missing? As in, it wasn't anywhere in the security booth, sir. The killer must have stolen it. Mr. Portsman, I believe this to be an important piece of testimony, don't you? I can't believe that someone like you would be taken in by such words. I'm not lying, sir. If that's the case, I'd like to know, why do you have the master key now? I don't quite know. It just reappeared all of a sudden, sir. Ha! A likely story. Where's your proof that the key was stolen to begin with? I bet you just forgot where you put it and then found it again. I never lose things. I can practically guarantee that. With me, if something disappears, it's usually because someone stole it. Yeah, pal, trust me, you don't want to test just how bad her luck is. Unfortunately, I can't deem this piece of testimony as conclusive. Glad you agree, Mr. Edgeworth. Yeah, but you still haven't established Maggie's motive for breaking into Mr. Edgeworth's office. Motive? Didn't we already establish that it was theft? I mean, the culprit clearly went through the bookshelves and at least tried the safe. How did you know? It is as Mr. Portsman says, Detective. I can't ignore the fact that all the evidence points towards the motive of theft. But I'm done taking blows. It's time to counterattack with a few facts of my own. There we go. Her intent from the messed up shells to the wiped down safe, I'd say thievery. I concur that the culprit's motive appears to have been thievery, however. I'm glad to hear that the great Miles Edgeworth is in agreement with little old me. However, with regard to the investigation of the bookshelf and safe... Hey, good thinking. Asking for my opinion on the matter. Would it be too much for you to allow me to complete a full sentence? Thought we established Detective Gumshoe's innocence pretty thoroughly. It was just a theory, one hypothesis among many possibilities. I mean, I had my doubts about Miss Bird from the very beginning. If that's the case, then why didn't you mention her first? No, don't make that face, see? There goes the truth, running the other way. Let's pick up the pace and see if we can catch up to it. I don't think you're catching my drift. But we are in agreement that the detective isn't the killer, right? If so, then I hope you'll understand why I say... when I say... And since she's the only one who could have opened your office door... Don't you think it's a bit early to be jumping to conclusions? Are you saying there's another way to open the door other than with the master key? Oh, I get it. Perhaps you had a spare made for someone else. I'll have you know, I have never made a spare, so what are you insinuating? Nothing. Guess I should have known better than to suggest that someone like you would. Wait. Is there anyone in this district who hasn't at least heard of Detective Gumshoe? That's fair. Good point. He's practically a celebrity among us prosecutors. I'm assuming for all the wrong reasons. Really? I never knew I was so talked about, sir. We're holding our collective breath, you know, for when you screw up so badly that you're literally chased off the force. He's been fired so many times. He's not going anywhere. What? Is that true, Mr. Edgeworth? Yeah, of course not. That's hogwash. Phew, don't scare me like that. I almost had a heart attack there. I disagree with that. By dying message, you mean the bloody letters that spell out Gumshoe. I figure that whoever wrote his name must have wanted to frame him. And just the act of choosing his name is proof enough that the two know each other well. Mr. Edgeworth, what are you waiting for? Hurry up and present some evidence. I'd love to, but first we should listen to a bit more and digest what he is saying, and press him for more information. It's pretty obvious that Miss Bird stuck into your office using the master key. Her intent... That doesn't make sense. I just realized that. That doesn't make sense. Do you wish to continue insisting that Miss Bird was set on stealing something? Why not? It's the truth, after all. It was also by your logic that we came to the whole thievery conclusion anyway. That may be, but you must be aware of the fact that a safe is a secret safe. The existence of which is only privy to prosecutors. Exactly. I find it a little hard to believe that a hidden safe was a part of her cunning plan. But she could have found it by accident while she was turning everything else upside down. I highly doubt that. I say the culprit knew exactly what they were looking for. After all, only the bookshelf and safe were targeted. Yeah, even I didn't know about that safe, pal. And that means there's no way Maggie could have known about it either. Then are you proposing that the killer is a prosecutor? Interesting conclusion. That's definitely looking more and more probable. Uh-oh. What's wrong, prosecutor? Do you have a different suspect in mind now? Yeah, curses, why? What made you... what's with the angry face all of a sudden? It's all my fault. What do you mean? It's Jim. He knew about the existence of the secret safes. What did you just say? We were partners, like inseparable, conjoined twins. That's why I told him. I filled him in on the secret safes. That means... Yeah, I know. I'd only just told him, too. Obviously, it was wrong of me to tell him. I still can't quite believe it, but the thief who broke into your room was probably Jim. Now he's claiming that the victim was the thief? And you were simply trying to stop him, weren't you? Miss Maggie Bird. Excuse me? I mean, you are a security guard, right? That's your job. But killing is going a bit too far, even in your risky profession. No, it wouldn't be. What the? You're still accusing Maggie of murder? Yes and no. I mean, she had stumbled upon Jim, who had probably drawn his gun. I get it. It was self-defense, wasn't it? No, I couldn't. I could never do something like that, not even as a security guard, sir. Plus, even if he was the thief, he wouldn't have a key to this office. Which is precisely why he had to steal it, wouldn't you say? Oh, crap. It was Jim who stole the master key. Ah. Pretty impossible for a supposedly stolen key to be here with us unless you retrieved it from Jim after you killed him. Mr. Portsman, are you honestly accusing your own partner of being a thief? I don't want to admit it, but it's the only way for everything else to make sense. Has he no honor? Now that I think we're done here, the investigation waits for no man. Would you people be so kind as to see yourselves out? Wait, this is my office. You can't kick us out. This is Mr. Edgeworth's office. Ah, but I'm the one who's been assigned to this case. Oh, no. You're all suspects to varying degrees and therefore ineligible to run the show. Why are you not a suspect? Listen, pal, how many times do I have to say this? Maggie can't be the culprit. Detective Gumshoe, calm yourself. But, sir, you have no choice but to accommodate his requests for now. Nah, thank you, Mr. Edgeworth. At least one of you understands. Now then, if you could remove yourselves from my crime scene, I'd be most grateful. Mark my words, Mr. Portsman, we will meet again. That's a formal request from the legendary prosecutor himself, and I suppose so. Now don't disappoint me, you hear? To be continued! In the next episode, we'll save our game and pick this up in the next one. Oh, I'm curious to see, like, are there trials in this game? I mean, I'll probably find, you don't have to answer that. I'll probably find out before you're able to, but I am interested to see, like, how the game works. Like, are there trials? Are we going to go to a trial and we'll have to present evidence and all that stuff? I'm assuming. But it's weird. Are we going to be the prosecutor or the defense? In this case, it seems like we might be the defense. So who knows? All I know is I'm excited to continue this investigation. I'm so glad they brought in so many returning characters off the bat, just to kind of bring you in with that sense of familiarity. I think that was a good call overall. So I hope you guys are still enjoying this. As always, thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.